Yeah, I want to go through just quickly editing and how we get there.
What are you starting with?
So I'm going to go into the members portal to show you how to quickly edit the template and then download it so that you can put it into Mail. We have MailChimp, Constant Contact, really any CRM they're all pretty similar. So it should be pretty easy to do regardless. So when you go into your members portal.
Hold on for 1 second. Do either of you use a CRM right now to keep track of your contacts?
That's actually, my company uses Follow Up Boss. So
Okay.
that links. Are you familiar with it?
Yes. They're all very similar. And Follow Up Boss does the same, like you would use it the same way when putting in the newsletter as the other ones. So perfect.
Okay, sorry,
Okay.
I'll interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, that's great because we definitely advocate for using a CRM. You want to have your contacts in one specific place so that you can always go in and add to it and follow up to it with them. So the newsletters, we'll go to the content. I'm just going to use the Inspire Me one. So we'll use, sorry for the birds in the background.
Sounds lovely.
So when you go in to use the template, this is what, you'll have all of the different templates here. So we have our American version, our Canadian content, and you'll be able to see what, you want to make sure that you're showing up as branded and the same look across all of your mediums. So you'll be able to have this is script, Inspire Me is second, and you'll be able to tell up here at the top if you can see which one it is, just so that you just say consistent and people recognize you. And then we have industrial and bold. So all of them are going to be together regardless of which one you choose, but it's always important to just make sure at the top you know which one you're looking for. So I always zoom in a little bit because I want to go down, and this is what we're editing down here. So we can easily change our name, however, and you can change the font. I usually will bold my first name so people know it's for me, put in my phone number. So and if you don't have an office phone number that you want to put in, we can just delete that. In our state, we are required to have our office phone number. Oh my gosh, sometimes it's just... if you don't have a website, you can certainly keep that out as well. So we will change that. This is just to show where you should put a logo. So if you don't have a logo, just delete it. We usually recommend using at least your brokerage logo. So when you click it, if it shows up on the middle of the page, just bring it down and you can easily resize it. We'll put it there. If you don't want to put your business address on there, keep that out as well. But then all you have to do to put your picture into this little space right here is simply take it and drag it in. And if I wanted to resize it so it's more of my face, I'll double click on it and just pull it up and move it around. A really cool feature that I love is you can take the background away. So if you click on it, go up to effects, and this nifty tool that says background remover is awesome. It'll take a few seconds, but then you have a beautiful image that is just of you. So you can edit it however you want, because I know sometimes we have backgrounds that it'll look more professional sometimes if you just keep your face in there. If you have your Instagram handle, put that there as well. You want to definitely make it easy for people to contact you. So once you have all of this filled out, you're going to go up, let me move this over a little bit, to the download button right here. PNG or JPEG, either one works. I usually just choose the JPEG because that's the most normal one to put in. It's not the word I'm looking for. And I'm going to only download this page. So page 3. And it'll download an image for me, which I will use when I go into my CRM. So most CRMs are the same when it comes to sending out one of our newsletters. So in MailChimp, it looks a little different than Follow Up Boss and Constant Contact. But wherever you're going to create your email, you'll just create it. Like this one's May newsletter. Ooh. So in MailChimp, I can change who I'm sending it from. I'm just going to keep it as my name. Same with the subject. I usually recommend, and this is important, don't just put May newsletter. People typically won't read it because a lot of people, it's not, there's no call to action that's going to make them want to open it. So like this month, it's all about equity. So our subject line for this month could be something like, do you know how much equity you have in your home? Or how much equity you have? Something that's going to ask the person, like that's going to really like spark interest, that you want someone to click on your email and open it. May newsletter, they're probably getting a newsletter from 2 or 3 other agents somewhere that's going to say May newsletter, and no one's going to open it. So do something that's specific to that month. Preview text, I mean, you can always put like something small, like I guess the second one is if you have like an invite, like if you have an event that month, you can put an invite, you're invited to our monthly event, something that I usually like, that's not as important as the subject. So save that. And then when we go into design email, so a lot of them are very similar with the CRMs, that you'll have the ability to choose like different templates. I usually just choose the first one because I can delete and change things that I don't need. And this is where it gets really easy and you don't want to overthink it. So what I do when I go in here is I delete the ones that I don't need. So I'm going to keep the photo one because I'll show you in a second why, but all of these different pieces that I'm not going to use, which you could use if you wanted to add a video, which I will show you in a minute. So all I have is this one where it's a photo. So if you accidentally delete that, usually on the side, whichever CRM you're using, you'll have the option to drop an image in, which you can do. And then what you do is you go to upload an image, go into wherever you saved that copy or download it. And there it is. It's uploaded. All it is it's your whole newsletter. It has your information specific to you. I didn't use this one, so I'll delete that. You can always change the bottom pieces. Excuse me. So I usually will just delete all of this because I just want them to be able to unsubscribe if they want to. And then I always recommend putting in your socials so that even though you have it here, you want people to be able to easily click them as well. And all the different CRMs allow you to do this, where you can go in and add your actual handle. And it's always good to go in and also send a test email if you want to yourself. Most of them will allow you to do it. But the other great thing, and what I normally do with mine, is I will add a video to the top of mine. So I'll drop a video here. Since we all have Zoom, so this one requires you, like my MailChimp requires you to actually put a link in. So what I will do, it takes a few extra steps, and we can go through this on a different mastermind just to save you some time, but you can record on Zoom just like we're doing now. So I'll just go in and do a normal Zoom meeting by myself, record it, whatever I want to say. So I'll talk to them like, hey, it's Alex Urkel with Keller Williams. I'm here to talk to you this month about home equity and how much home equity you might have. We all know that the market's going crazy. Just to put your face out there, because it's good so that people open their newsletter and the first thing they see is your beautiful smiling face, and they may not watch the video. That's fine, but they're seeing you, and that's what's important. And then they're seeing all of the information that you're providing to them. So they're connecting them. You're coming from contribution. You're giving them something that they want to see and read about. You can also add your listings on here. So if you have like a coming soon listing that you wanted to highlight, you can always put that at the front or at the end. You can do multiple images where you take the image group and put like your 4 images, like the kitchen, the exterior, the yard. Or you can do something like the image text where you put the image of your listing. Like you can do a coming soon, put the image of it, and then write down here information about coming soon in Brandywine Township. So that people, because most of your database is probably going to be from your area, they might not be interested in it, but they might know somebody that's interested in it. And it's just getting the word out that you're selling homes. So
You also show how to add a link to that image. So if someone clicks on that image of the house, it links
yes,
right to your listing. The same thing with your newsletter. You can have it linked directly to your Facebook page or to your website.
yep. So if you go into wherever let's go into all of our listings. If you have a website with your listings, let's do this one. Here you have all of the information and pictures where people can find your listing. If you don't have a website for it, a Zillow link will work as well. But just copy that. And then when you go and like when you basically highlight this image. Wait, where is it? Style? No.
I think it's in content.
here.
See the word link up there? You can link that image.
Oh yeah. Hello, Alex. So you can do that. You can also do it here. So if you wanted to, like, if you look here, there's an article that we have for this content. So if you wanted to link that as well, a lot of people will do that so that people can read further into it. But if you go into the image, you can go into link and then you can change it if you wanted to, but I usually just put the web address, insert it, and then when if you wanted to, you can say click here. Another way to do that too is a lot of places will allow you to add a button, and you can do learn more, and then people can click directly onto your to learn more about this listing. So I would put a little paragraph here if you're going to put a coming soon, just so that people know more about it. And then, yeah, however you are going to send it out, if you're sending it to your whole database, it's very easy to do. Make sure that you edit who you're sending it to, your, subject line, and who it's coming from. So if you want it to be like, make sure that it's your professional name, however people know you as, because sometimes they'll change it around and you just don't want that. So that is the newsletter. Does anyone have any questions on that? Sometimes you have to play around because not all of them look the same on this side over here, but it's definitely, once you do it once or twice, you can do it in your sleep. Okay. Now we'll go to Vistaprint. So the postcards, highly recommend doing the postcards. This is something that will get you. I just had a call the other day from someone. I've been farming a neighborhood for 2.5 years and I haven't gotten anything yet on this particular neighborhood. And someone called me and said, I'm thinking about listing my house. I've saved all of your postcards. I love how consistent you are. So people are watching. You may not know them. I even have people stop me when I'm downtown and in my own neighborhood and say, hey, got your postcard. Can I ask you about this? So they're seeing them. You just have to send them. And we always recommend sending a particular budget. So I would, at the very least, send the postcard to your database. And also because it's going to come, you want to hit them on all these different mediums with the same message. So someone might see your email, but someone might not look at the postcard because their significant other picked it out of the mail and tossed it. Or someone might see the postcard, but they didn't check the email because they have 700 emails a day. Or they'll see you on social media. So hitting them on all these different mediums is going to be, you're going to be everywhere. You're going to meet them where they're at. That's the point. So that when they're talking to their friends, the first thought when someone says realtor across the room is, I have a good one. Let me refer you. So postcards. And this is also easy once you get the hang of it. Do it a few times. We can always, if you have trouble doing this, we can always screen share with you and go through it and help you with it. So it's the same thing as the newsletter. When you go in, like I always recommend, they're a little bit more expensive, but I would do the bigger ones. If you can't do, but if you don't have the budget to do the bigger ones, to do more than one neighborhood, I would recommend doing the smaller ones. So if you are like, you know what, I'll spend 50 cents a postcard to be able to send it to my database and also my neighborhood, because you want to show that you're the neighborhood expert, then do the smaller ones. If you're like, you know what, I can only afford to do one, do the bigger postcard for your database, or do the bigger postcard for your neighborhood, because you want to make sure that you're staying in front of as many people as possible. So this is the 5.5 by 8.5. Again, I'm going to go to the Inspire Me one, but I want to edit my information in the back, put my picture in there, change all my info, and then I'm going to download these 2 pages. Again, I'm going to do the JPEG, the Inspire Me, and the page 5. No point in downloading ones you don't need. I always have to open them up on my Mac. Okay. So now that we're done with that, Vistaprint.com. This is where we want to go. Once you do this, why we love Vistaprint is once you input any contacts, they save them forever. So instead of trying to find the postcards, I'll just search for postcard because I don't have time for that. You can either have them printed and sent to you and then print labels and get the stamps and do all that, but no one has time for that. And their mailing services are really, really, really cheap. So I always do the postcard mailing service. This is just telling you how much they cost. Bypass this and just get started. You don't need to put in any information there. So as you can see on my Vistaprint, all of the different postcards I've sent. This up here is where you'll choose which size you're going to go with. So if you do the standard smaller postcard, select that because that's going to make the difference when you upload it. The oversized one is right here. I'm going to do that one because that's the one that I edited. And you can see that you can do any of, they have like, obviously they know I'm a real estate agent, so they're showing me the ones that might be the best for me, but we have our own design, so I will upload it. And then all I do is click right there. Up here, it'll show add image. I just go to my downloads like I did before. I'll pick the front image because we're doing the front, and it'll perfectly go in and you don't have to do anything about it. You don't have to move it around. It's just there. The image resolution looks great. It's properly sized. Now I want to add the back of it. So down here, I'll go to the back. I'm going to do full color. This isn't $12.96 per postcard, don't worry. And then I'm going to upload my design back here as well. And it's also perfectly sized, so you don't have to do anything. I can preview it, so I can make sure that it looks good. I can look at it side by side. So you'll notice too on the smaller postcards that they have a little black piece right here at the bottom. That's because this moves over and we don't want any of your information to get cut off. So that's why your information will be higher up and you'll have a black box down here. So all we have to do now that I just uploaded it very easily, shows it again. I've reviewed it. Oops, sorry. Hi guys. All right, here's where it gets a little confusing, but once you do it, like I said, so I just want to show you once you upload it, I can go into use a saved list. And all of my lists that I've ever uploaded are here. So if I ever want to go back and choose my A and B clients, all I have to do is select it. But I've updated those since then, so I'll probably upload that again. But like if you have a particular neighborhood that you farm here, Main Street Village, I can just go in and select that. So it's all saved for however long you do this. But I want to go back and show you how to do a new list. So once you download the information either from your CRM, or if you're going into the your MLS and you want to pull the neighborhoods, which I could also walk you through if you're interested. I'll have to try and figure out it through your MLS, but if you know someone else that might be able to help you with your particular multiple listing service to pull the addresses, I would recommend talking to them, because I know all of them are different. But right here, you can download their mailing list template. If you don't do this correctly, it's going to be a headache for you and you're going to want to throw your computer. Let me just forewarn you. So definitely make sure that you're either downloading this or putting these headers on the top of your list. So normally, I'm going to show you one that I downloaded from my MLS. This was just like, it's a new community, so I didn't have their names. So I just put current homeowner, address, city, state, zip. If you have nothing else, you have to do this, and you have to separate their first name and their last name. So there should be a way in your MLS that you can download a list that has their first name and last name separated. Once you do this once, you don't have to do it again. So I'm going to go back into the template. I don't need this one, so I'm going to delete that column. I don't need the middle name. So basically, if I don't need these, I'm going to just delete them. I don't need an address line 2, and I don't need this zip where it's like the last 4 digits. Success. So when you download that form, take out their comments, because clearly they don't like when you have their comments in there, even though they make you upload it with them. So once you have that in, you just hit next, because it's all going to be correct. You might have duplicates, and they'll remove those for you if you have undeliverable addresses. So since this is a new community, it's not seeing all of these as being current. So just because I don't want to waste money and risk it, I'm going to delete those ones, and maybe I'll try sending them at another point. But you might have some that will say it's undeliverable. Again, see duplicates. Send 1 per household. I don't want to have a household get 2. That's a waste of money. It'll show you how you can see everything right here. I have approved it. I usually recommend first class. You can also do standard if you want to cut down 9 cents. Like if you have a larger community like this one, just go with the standard. It says 6 to 22 business days, but they usually send it out within 2 weeks. You can do or current resident, but since I on this one have current homeowner, I don't want that to show up because it will look redundant. So I put none of the above. And here it is. You're going to see so now when I go back, that postcard that I uploaded, that list that I uploaded. So if I wanted to resend that postcard, it's going to be saved in my account. If I want to resend to that list, it's going to be saved into my account, so that you can do this in less than 5 minutes every month. Because when I go back, I can go into my postcards and pick a totally different list. So if I wanted to send this to 2 neighborhoods, for instance, because I can't select more than 1 address list, I'm going to go back in here, because now I want to send it to my sphere. Here it is. I'm going to go to mail this postcard, because I don't want to, doesn't like me today. I'm going to edit it for now, and then I'll do mail this postcard. Okay. I have read and reviewed my design. It's not letting me. Well, once it actually works, which it normally does, and you do mail this postcard, you can choose another saved list, unless you just want to be like have it as 2 separate orders. Write this code down. If nothing else, write this code down. Never buy Vistaprint at full price. Promo code VP save 15. And once you sign up and with Vistaprint, they'll send you emails every month with like 30% off all products, 50% off everything. Once you get that email, that's the time you need to send your postcard because you can get a lot of money off. But if I do VP save 15, now I saved a good chunk of money. Now, this is for 500 postcards. I'm spending $300 for a month for 500. You don't need to necessarily send 500. If your database has 200 people and that's what you want to do, it's going to be like $100 and some dollars. So it's not going to be super, super expensive, but we highly recommend sending this out. Like I said, if you wanted to hit as many people as possible, send this to your neighborhood. You can also do pop buys as well, because those are a really great way to get your face out there without spending a lot of money. I know I went through that quickly, but does anyone have any questions on the postcards? We have in our this entire thing that I just went through for the postcards, and then also for the newsletters, are in the members portal every time you go through. And like I said, if you ever need us to go through it with you while you screen share so we can see what you're doing, we would be more than happy to. But if you go into postcards here, they are at the bottom of, so you can look at this YouTube video and walk through it while you order your postcards. And you can see exactly what I just went through over and over again, because once you do it 2 or 3 times, you'll be able to do it in your sleep. I want to quick show you how to share your social, and then do you on Canva. Does that work, Angie?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Let's go to social media. So we all know that you can go in and download all the images and then share them, you know, whenever you would like to. We have what we offer as like a guide with our calendar. So if you want to see where they're supposed to be or when they're supposed to be posted, you certainly can with our calendar on the last page. You can always go in here and just download the image and just copy it and go into Facebook and post it if you want to. But if you want to edit the images and post, go into Canva and you can use the template. So some people may add their logo. So if you wanted to add your logo on each page, you certainly can by just dropping it in there. Sometimes people, so if you have a particular color that your brokerage is or that you represent, mine is pink. I love pink. So if I wanted to edit the way that this looks, see this background piece right here, this is currently black, but if I wanted to, I could change it to pink. And then also add my logo in here. So let's say I wanted to post this particular image. The way you will find the notes is down here at the left. They changed it last month. So now we are here on the left, and this is all of the copy for this image. So all I'm going to do is copy this. I'm going to move this box again. All right, see these 3 dots at the top? You can either schedule a post or you can post. You can do it to Facebook. You can do it however you want. I'm going to do it to Instagram. So there's my Instagram. I'm going to just paste this caption. And then I can either schedule it. So if I wanted to schedule it, let's say for tomorrow morning, or let's just do 12:08 p.m. tomorrow. Then I can schedule the post, or I can save it as a draft. But if I schedule it, it's going to, and you can do this for multiple images. If you wanted to go in here and post all of these for the entire month, spend 2 hours doing that, and then you don't have to think about it, set it and forget it, and you're done. If you wanted to do it for Instagram too, you can. You can use different tools like Planoly and Later to post as well. If you wanted to spend a little money for a really easy one, you can spend $29 a month and do, it's called Hootsuite, H-O-O-T Suite, S-U-I-T-E. And you can upload to Instagram and Facebook at the same time. and it'll post for you automatically throughout the month. However, whatever works best for you, but it's really, we make it really as easy as possible to try and make sure that it's automated for you. And again, go up to these 3 buttons. I can do, oh no, I want to do Instagram business. There's my Instagram business account. It's making me schedule for that. Oh, I'll have to go back in. I think it's because I'm connected to Zoom that it's doing this weird.
Zoom does make Canva act strange. If you're on a Zoom call and trying to do something in Canva, it does weird things.
So if I go in and I want to do it at 12:08 today, okay. And then I can go into my content planner and see what I have scheduled right there. Another one that we really love to do, and I wish I could share my screen on my phone, but you can download the Canva app.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to show you the app. Once you go into Blink and download the images on your Canva account, they're in there forever. So you can go into the desktop and edit all the images because it's easier for me to do on my desktop. And then once you go into your Canva and you can actually go in here and you'll be able to find your exact, like what you just edited. It'll show the pink background, it'll have your logo, and then we'll drop a link to the screen recording of that, but then you can easily post from your phone. Some people prefer to just post every day, make it easy for them because they can kind of control it better. I'm a more set it and forget it kind of person where I don't want to have to deal with it. So I will go in at the end of the month and post everything or have it scheduled. But you can easily go in here and do it as well.
All right, I'm going to show one other way to post your social media because there's multiple ways you can do it, and we really want to give you as many options as you can to post it in advance. So I'm going to share my screen quickly. So like Alex said, going into Canva and downloading all the images is one way. I'm going to show you how to use our site and use Facebook to auto post and schedule to Facebook and to Instagram. So the only thing that's required for you to do that is to make sure that you've connected your Facebook and your Instagram page on Facebook. So what you can do is you can go right directly from our website here. Each of these images will have a little download button that when you hover on it, it'll allow you to download those to your desktop, okay? So my screen's gonna go blank here, but there you go. I don't know if you can see that image pop up, but it basically downloads it to your desktop. And let's say I wanna go in here and I wanna add, oh, here we go. Let's say I wanna just add a little hashtag at the bottom. I don't know, Chester County Realtor, okay? And you wanna add, let me spell realtor correctly here. And maybe I want to add some cute little emojis or whatever you want to add. You could add it anywhere in this text you want. You're just going to click our little copy button. Okay. And then I'm going to go to our business Facebook page. All right. So can you see this? Can you see our Facebook page back end? Okay. So your Facebook page would look similar to this as long as you have it as a business page. So what you'll see is you'll see all of your business page tools over here. And if you haven't used this yet, it's a great asset for you, but publishing tools is where we want to go. If I just click this button, create post, it's going to allow me, if it can catch up with me, it's going to show my Facebook and my Instagram. All right. I'm just going to paste the text from our website. Boom, there it is with my cute little correctly spelled hashtag. And I'm just going to add a photo. So I'm going to grab that from my computer, upload it. I'll give it a minute to catch up with me. There's the preview. So you can see what the preview would look like for Facebook, and for Instagram, you can see what that preview would look like. And then all I have to do, if I want to schedule that, if I want to publish it right now, I click publish, it goes to both instantly. But if I want to schedule it, I could schedule this for tomorrow, okay? And save it and click schedule post. So that probably did take me 30 seconds. I could go in and then basically what I would do if it was me is I would go back into the next day. So here's the next day. Now, obviously I'm a day behind. But let's say it's the beginning of the month and you wanted to go day by day. You just go in, you read the text real quick if you want to, add a hashtag, add an emoji, click copy, download the image, and you can go right back into your publishing tools. Let's pretend like I went ahead and scheduled that. I would go discard changes. I would go back to create post, and I would just literally do the same thing. And once you get kind of methodical about it, you're really going to, I don't know why it's not downloading. Oh, there it is. There we go. Hello. And actually it's going to download to your computer using the date that we have it scheduled for. So if you're getting a little confused what image you're doing, if you can see, this image is called the 3rd, that means it was supposed to be scheduled on the 3rd of the month. So that actually can kind of help you to keep track in your mind what day you're supposed to be scheduling it for. You can see how quick and easy that is. That I can just go in, I can schedule it for whatever day I choose, or you can stick with our schedule, which we have it, really scheduled out for you to make it easy, so you really don't have a lot of guesswork. But I would say even if I was going really slowly and methodically, I would say in less than 2 hours, maybe even an hour, I could have it completely scheduled for the month. And the only other thing that I would say you should be posting on your social is maybe, let's say you got, you had a friend snap like a really nice lifestyle picture of you, and you share something personal about you, on 1 week of the month. And then the next month you got a beautiful new listing and you want to share that picture, in our,
and then I was going to say, show
tools.
more of that.
Yeah. In our listing templates and realtor tools area, there's so much that is so valuable for you. Let's say I got a beautiful listing. I could just pop down here to our social media posts that are made for just listeds, just solds. And I can just go in and let's say I added the address. You can obviously change that, change the price. And then we could just go in here and add a beautiful image of that home. And the same thing that Alex was just showing, you're just going to download that image just like that. I'm going to pick page 1 and download it. And then I can go right back into my Facebook tools. And let me move this box over. And then the same exact idea. You would,
and those, they match. So you can go in and find exact templates that are going to match the rest of your theme throughout, because you want to stay branded and kind of look the same. So if you're using the industrial, you might not use the script, you might go in and use the industrial ones, or, just to stay. Some people mix industrial and bold, and scripted inspire me. So like those are like the more feminine ones and the more masculine ones. So you can mix those, that's fine. But I would recommend staying with one or the other. And like she said, you can also edit and pull in photos of yourself as well, if you have like photo shoots.
Yep, exactly. So you just go ahead, put whatever information you want in there, and go ahead and schedule that to be posted. So really, I think that it's one of the easiest and free ways that you can schedule. And
we'll do these masterminds every month in case you have a question. But in the meantime, let us know. And we will always, if you're part of our Facebook page, make sure that you stay tuned for anything that we have coming up, masterminds, things like that.
All right. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon.